Welcome back to this edition of Spotlight. Today we have with us Neil Spatura. He's the Director of Communications for the United Way here in Cleveland. Neil, could you tell us a little bit about what United Way does here in the Cleveland area?
Here in the greater Cleveland area, United Way helps support about 153 different nonprofit organizations that do everything from elder care to infant care and everything in between. And that's what the United Way is about.
Is that originally like why the United Way was started, to help people that...
Sure.
Well, obviously when you help people, they need the help, but I mean, people that are maybe disabled or unable to help themselves, is that basically why the United Way got started? Well,
the bottom line for the start of United Way was that the community perceived there was a need to try and do one large campaign that would help a whole range of people. And that was how the United Way was started here in Cleveland, to try and bring the community together to meet community needs. And that's what we're up to today.
And what are some of the critical needs here in the Cleveland area today?
Well, certainly here in Greater Cleveland, hunger and homelessness is on the increase, and it's one of the most critical issues in the Greater Cleveland area right now. Illiteracy is something that we're trying to deal with. And then there's always child daycare and elder care and things like AIDS education and general health education. And all of those things are things that United Way and its agencies are involved in.
And they get quite a bit involved in like schools, when they come to schools and,
sure.
and give lectures or speeches, if you
Right. A number of the agencies have in-school programs, and in fact many of them actually provide counseling staff or psychologists that work directly in schools to try and help kids that need help and to work with their families when that's appropriate.
And do you find that a lot of the problems, most of us that live in the suburbs think that
Sure.
the problems are in the inner city. Do you find that a lot of the problems that were once in the inner city are now finding their way into the suburbs, and it's not such a big gap as some people might think?
Sure. In fact, teen substance abuse is a major problem in suburban areas, and one of the leading edge programs is one that's located in Cleveland Heights. It's an organization called Rap Art Center, and it's basically a kid and teen counseling center for kids that are having problems with alcohol abuse or substance abuse or depression. And one of the neat things about Rap Art that's funded by United Way is that you can actually come, and in addition to your face-to-face counseling, you can work as part of a group for group therapy, but your group is a rock band, so that you learn how to play a guitar or piano or drums and learn to work together with counselors and your peers to develop some self-esteem and to make some progress and to help pull yourself together at the same time.
Oh, so it's kind of like keeping them off the streets and teaching them.
Right.
Maybe something that they could use later on.
Sure, or at least something that helps build their self-esteem and gets them back on track.
So is that one of the, what you would call leading edge programs that
Sure.
United Way is funding? Are there any others that are maybe coming up and coming?
Sure. One of the things that's very important that we're proud of is that we're doing a community-wide food drive in the spring for the first time this year. And we're going to be calling it the Harvest for Hunger, where we try and bring the entire community together to provide foodstuffs or money for foodstuffs for Greater Clevelanders who are homeless and hungry. And that's pretty leading edge where Greater Cleveland's concerned.
Now, if people wanted to donate food, what types of food are the best for people to donate?
Stuff like canned goods and boxed food, stuff that's going to have a shelf life between the time it gets dropped off at a center and the time that we get it to the people that needs it. So fresh vegetables and things would be tougher for us to take advantage of. So it needs to be packaged goods.
Now, how long would it take, you know, if I were to drop off a whole box of canned food? And how long would it take till a family actually got that to eat?
Probably a couple days. You know, we're able to do very quick turnaround time, and we do work with the food bank and directly with a number of hunger centers throughout the Greater Cleveland area, many of which are in the suburbs, surprisingly enough. So that, you know, if you dropped off the food to us, we'd probably have it to families within a day or two.
And are there more families that need this service now? I mean,
Absolutely.
Is it increasing?
And one of the things we're seeing is that the recession is really very much here in the Greater Cleveland area, and people that have been laid off or perhaps let go because their large company has merged with another one are having to turn to United Way for some extra assistance in ways they've never done before. What we're finding is that the people that used to be able to make the gifts are now having to turn to United Way to get some help. So yeah, that's a very typical thing.
Is there anything else that United Way is involved in that maybe normal people don't know about?
Well, we do try and be very leading edge, so that what we do is we have volunteers that take a real hard look at what the situation is in the community at any given time. And they come back and they tell us this is what United Way needs to be into. So, of course, expanded AIDS prevention and education and substance abuse prevention and education is stuff that's leading edge right now that you probably wouldn't associate with an old line organization like United Way. But we really do try and be where the help is needed as much as we can.
Neil, typically most of us think of United Way as an agency that's only there on holidays or special times of the year. That's not necessarily the case, though, is it?
Right. We're not just here when the campaign's going on. We're here all year long trying to take care of the people that need help wherever they may be. And I wish more people knew that.
Well, that's great. I'm sure they will now. Thank you
Thanks.
very much for being with us.
My pleasure.
We'll be back with more Spotlight right after this.